Are you debating a big decision right now and you just can't make up your mind? What do you do? Well, today I'm going to go through a few tips on how you can make a decision. Welcome back to the Self-Esteem and Confidence Mindset with me, Johnny Pardo, here to help you boost your self-esteem, confidence and manage that negative self-talk. So I've been in situations like any human being where I'm just like, what do I do? Do I go with A? Do I go with B? Do I go with C? Do I go with D? Or maybe it's just A and B. Various options, whether that's a job decision, whether it's making a decision on what videos I'm going to do, making a big decision on what I'm going to do with money, particularly in business, what I'm going to invest in. I've had to make some big decisions like anyone, and sometimes it's caused me a lot of stress and thinking overnight. And it's certainly something I've talked through with people I've worked with as well and helped and mentored in terms of, right, I'm not sure about this, but actually some of the things that we've talked through and I've used for myself, I found very, very useful to reach a decision. Before we go into the tips, it's really important to note that only you can make a decision for you. No one else can. So I can't make your decision for you. When I mentor someone, if I mentor you, I can't make your decision for you. If you've got a coach, I sort of combine my mentoring and coaching a little bit, but more sort of the mentor side. But if you'd be working with a traditional life coach, they would go through some ideas, get you thinking, but they don't make your decisions. You make your decisions. So I wanted to go through a few tips on how you can make your decision right now. So the first one is make your decision on paper. Decisions are best made on paper. Obviously, you don't say the yes or no on the paper. Well, you're signing, obviously, of course, and you might say it verbally to someone, but getting the brainstorming onto paper is going to help you because your brain gets cluttered up with all these thoughts and like, oh, what should I do? This, and this. And if you just keep everything tucked up inside, it is going to just get overwhelmed and overworked. So getting down your ideas on paper, think about what the good things, what the bad things, and just kind of what you're thinking. Even just free writing can help, first of all. That's going to help you see your thoughts more clearly than them being stuck in your brain. And this is certainly something I've done. And when I've talked it through with people, I've got them to actually write down some of their thoughts at the same time. The second point, as I was touching on a little bit there, was pros and cons. Writing down, this is very traditional, but we don't always do it. Writing down what is going to be a pro of something and what is going to be a con. So that enables you to start thinking, right, this is going to be good about doing that. And then you look at the other one, this is good about that one, but this might be bad about this one, and this is what's bad about going with that way. And then you start looking, right, what's stronger? Are there more pros here? Are there more cons here? Are there less cons here? And that's going to help you. Now, that alone might help you make your decision. And if it does, and if it's just a case that you need to reassure yourself by writing it down and then doing these pros and cons, great. But this is a good starter. Now what you can do is the pain. If we want to go another step, it's the pain and pleasure. So this is very much about Neuro Associations. Neuro Associations are what your brain thinks about when you think about different things. So what pleasure am I going to get from doing something? And that might become a habit. What pain am I going to get from doing something? And it's what makes you do certain behaviors and activities. Now, for making decisions, think about what pleasure this is a step further than the pros and cons. What pleasure will I get from making this decision? And what's the pain if I make this decision? But then it's also important to look at what's the pain of not. What's the pain if I don't make this decision? What's it going to cost me? So looking at that as well. So for example, I can think about this going into the job world. So you might have the pleasure of going for a new job is that you get a new opportunity. Maybe there's a salary increase. You get to use more experience. You're going to have more fun. The pain of it is you're going to go into a new organisation, a new team. It's something you might not be as familiar with, as comfortable. But then you've sort of got maybe a little bit of a fairly balanced argument there. But then you look at the pain of not doing it. And the pain of not doing it could be you might be stuck in your current job, not moving, not growing, and then you get to the age of 65, whatever the retirement age is, probably go up to 70, 75 with current things. And then you look at the pain of not doing it. Will you go through your job regretting this decision? Will you just be miserable and stuck in your job? Start looking at what the pain of not doing something is as well. And there might not be a pain of not doing it. And therefore, actually, what you're doing right now makes you perfectly happy. But it's good to look at the pleasure and the pain of making a decision, but also the pain of not doing it, because that can be another driver as well. And then my third point, can't talk. My fourth point is talking it through with someone. Talk it through with someone you can trust and can help you get these decisions. They can't give you direct advice, but they can help facilitate your thinking a little bit more. Okay, so they can get you thinking, they can get your thoughts going a little bit more. And talk to someone you trust, not someone you don't trust. And that will allow you to talk out loud rather than in your head. And that's going to help you get your thinking a bit more clear and make decisions as a result of that a little bit better. So, those have been my tips on how you can make a decision, how you can come to it. Remember, the decision is only yours. Get it on paper, look at the pros and cons, look at the pain and pleasure, and talk it through with someone. That's what you can do. These are things I've done. These are things I've worked with other people. And I've had clients who've decided actually they want to go for a new change in their life. And they're like, oh, I feel really good now. And they've talked it through with me. And this has been with other people I've talked through outside of clients as well, when we've just talked through, okay, what are you thinking here? What's going to be a benefit if you do this? What's going to be bad if you do this? What's the pleasure and what's the pain of making these decisions? Not in those exact words, but sometimes, but actually allowing people to facilitate their thinking a lot more with these effective questions. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed today, be sure to give this video a like. And if you think it's of value to your friends and family, please share it with them as well. And you can also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Before we go, one final message. Improve your self-esteem. You improve the lives of others.